Hello, wrestling fans! NXT Battleground 2023, very good show from Lowell, Massachusetts. The event kicked off with the triple threat match for the North American Championship as the Schism's Joe Gacy took on the Tyler Bate and Wes Lee. Good match to open up the show. Early in the match, Gacy did a dive on the floor to both men. Wes, a great spot which has been done before in wrestling. Wes did like a, Gacy tried for an O'Connor roll on Bate as he shoves him to the ropes. Wes launches himself over the ropes over both Bate and Gacy. I guess like a little domino or chain reaction effect as Wes does the sunset flip as he grabs Gacy and takes him down. Gacy's still holding on to Bate and German suplexes Gacy German suplexes Bate as he's being taken down after that sunset flip by Wes. Bate hit Exploder suplexes on Gacy, and then he did one on Wes. And in a very impressive spot, which Bate may have done before, he had Gacy on his shoulders, and he tried to do the giant swing on Wes, but he couldn't swing him too long. Gacy put the Rings of Saturn on Wes, then he put it on Bate. Bate missed he put the Rings of Saturn on Bate after he missed a standing shooting star press. Then Wes hit the cardiac kick on both of them, and then he hits the cardiac kick on Gacy and pinned him to retain the championship. Good match. Crowd was into it as well. Second match of the night we see for the Heritage Cup as Dragon Lee challenged Noam Dar. I forgot who apologies. I forgot the cornermen's names of both guys. Noam Dar's cornerman didn't even come out until after the first round was over. Well, there was no points scored in the first round. During round 2, Dar got a point with some kind of pinning combination. Round 3, Dragon Lee hits a Hurricane Rana off the apron, does a suicide dive, but no points were awarded, and Dar hit an uppercut on Dragon after the bell after round 3 had ended. Then Dragon puts a Texas Cloverleaf on Dar. Dragon actually managed to even the series, the odds at 1 point each. When he did this I guess tilt-a-whirl body press thing he did, and he ended up pinning Noam Dar. And then both cornermen start brawling, and I guess they were both ejected as the referees tried to break it up. In round 5, Dragon took a sick bump. He tried to do a Hurricane Rana on the Dar off the apron again, but Dar dropped him as a power bomb. But it looked like Dragon was supposed to hit the apron, but look, he went straight to the floor. Maybe in addition to the Botchamania files. Dragon back in the ring. Dragon hit a snap German suplex and a power bomb. Eventually, Jackson, I don't know who she is, she comes out. But then, out from the crowd comes Lash Legend. She takes the spit bucket that I think Dar's cornerman left in and hits Dragon from behind with it. And Dar hits the Noam Roller, whatever move, I forgot what that actual move is, the actual move of that name is called, and pinned him to win and retain the Heritage Cup. I forgot what that group is known as. Dar, his cornerman, Lash Legend, and the other lady. Next up was the last man standing match as Dijak took on Ilya Dragunov. Dijak, early on, he suplexed Dragunov on the stairs. At one point, they're still out on the floor. Dijak picks up a table, and he Dragunov takes its running start, drives himself through the table. It breaks and knocks Dijak down as well. Dragunov hit a DDT on the stairs. Dragunov did a Van Terminator off the top rope onto the steps. While he also then hit multiple chops even as both men were laying on the mat. And also he hit a Dijak, took a German suplex. A Dijak eventually bounced back with a chokeslam on the apron. Dijak brought a kendo stick into play. The ending came when Dragunov jumped off the steps, hit a forearm to the back of Dijak, and when Dijak's head hit a chair laying on the mat, both men were down, but Dijak could not answer the 10 count. Ilya Dragunov defeats Dijak in the last man standing match. Next up, we had the Creed brothers, Brutus and Julius, coming to ring by Ivy Nile, as they took on, representing Gallus, Joe Coffey and Wolfgang, with Mark Coffey in their corner for the Tag Team Championship. For some reason, I just couldn't get into this match. Folks, I don't watch NXT every week. Wolfgang hits a stun gun on Brutus early on. After taking a lot of punishment, Julius finally gets tagged, or maybe it was the hot tag. Eventually, Ava, who of course is part of the Schism, she attacks Ivy on the floor, and Gallus eventually hit some kind of a double team move on Julius, or was it Brutus? And as a result, Gallus defeated the Creed brothers to retain the Tag Team Championship. Up next was the final match of the tournament to crown a new women's champion, as Lyra Valkyria took on Tiffany Stratton. Early on, Stratton went to work on Valkyria's knee. She even put her in a Muda lock, used a stretch muffler. Valkyria tried to win with the O'Connor roll. She had a missile dropkick off the top rope. 2 Northern Lights suplex, tried for a third, but it didn't happen. But I think it was blocked. Valkyria went for a body press off the top rope. Stratton rolled through and tried to pick her up on her shoulders, but Valkyria countered with the crucifix bomb, which Austin Aries is known for. Stratton tried for Hurricane Cronus. For those who don't know what that is, the late John Cronus, who was one half of the Eliminators in ECW, it's a cartwheel, backflip, elbow into the corner, but as she tried to hit the elbow, Valkyria catches her and gives her a German suplex. Stratton eventually hits a Regal roll, misses a moonsault from the top rope. Valkyria hit a roundhouse kick, and she tried to get the pin, but Stratton got her foot on the rope. Valkyria climbs the top rope. Stratton stops her, tries for a superplex. Valkyria tries for the sunset bomb, but Stratton counters with a Hurricane Rana, a second Regal roll. This time hits the moonsault from the top rope and pins Valkyria to become the new NXT Women's Champion. Next up was the main event was with big return match from Stand and Deliver, as Braun Breaker, in the unfamiliar role of challenger, faced Carmelo Hayes, accompanied by Trick Williams, for the heavyweight championship. Hayes did a dive, hurdled over the top ropes and dived out to the floor. Breaker hit a belly-to-belly suplex. He hit the Frankensteiner off the top rope. Hits a German suplex. Hayes countered a suplex with a DDT. Hits a super kick. Hits a pump kick. He hits a suplex into a cutter. Breaker tried to hit Hayes with that power slam, into that press into a power slam that Goldberg was known for. Hayes countered that with a code breaker or a lung blower. Breaker went for the spear, but he ended up hitting it looked like he almost hit the post. Breaker tried something off the second rope. He got speared in midair. Hayes kicked out of that. Breaker tried the press slam again. Hayes countered it into a small package. Breaker kicked out. Hayes hits 3 super kicks. Then he hits nothing but net, which is a leg drop off the top rope. Pins Breaker to retain the championship. And what's weird is that that's exactly how Carmelo won the title to begin with. So, I guess they don't know where they're gonna go with some of these guys. I mean, I don't know who would be next for Carmelo Hayes, because Breakker just went heel and got his rematch. During the show, they announced that the next premium live event will be NXT Great American Bash on Sunday, July 30th. Glad to see that's going to be a PLE rather than a bigger than usual Tuesday night show. Let's see. I have to say, the Schism, which is Joe Gacy, Ava, and the Dyad. I mean, I just feel bad for the four of them, because from the time that group was formed, they have been getting nowhere. I don't know. Maybe I know the Dyad, who were also known as the Grizzled Young Veterans. They had requested to be released, but got denied, and their contracts go up later this year. So they're pretty clear about getting out, about leaving. So I think eventually I think the group should just crumble eventually, because they've been getting nowhere from day one seemingly. I mean, sure, Gacy had a chance to be the champ last year against Braun Breaker, and he failed. I wonder in June if they'll have a bigger than usual Tuesday night show. If they'll call that In Your House or something summer related. I forgot to mention there was a Chase University segment in the background. I don't think Andre was there, but instead we had Duke Hudson teaching class, and I forgot who was there, but they were putting down I forgot that young lady's name. Again, all apologies, folks. I don't watch NXT every week. The young lady that's part of Chase University, and somebody made her cry, and she left the room, and I don't know. But be interesting to see where most of the NXT roster goes from here. This Tuesday night, they said there's going to be a weaponized cage match between Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Or was it JC Jace? And I'm kind of bummed out that feud is being settled on a Tuesday night. I was hoping it would have been settled at this event, Battleground, but unfortunately it's not happening. Now, I wonder what NXT is going to do, considering that the women's tag team champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, they've been there now wrestle on SmackDown. They're still the NXT women's tag team champions. I mean, why are they? I mean, they stripped Indy Hartwell after she was drafted to Raw, so I don't know what they're going to do as far as the women's tag team championship goes. Yeah. And also the mystery woman who's been attacking most of the ladies in NXT said she's going to reveal herself this Tuesday night as well. So, we'll see if that's going to be all worth it or not. But I did enjoy this. I mean, NXT never really lets me down. So, I think they did pretty good on this occasion. Of course, not as good as Stand and Deliver back during WrestleMania weekend. But can't wait for Great American Bash, which will be Sunday, July 30th. Glad to see that again. Glad to see if that's going to be a PLE rather than a bigger than usual Tuesday night show.